if I'm not mistaken, I believe Carlos is cheese, so Zineel is friend in this case here. And
Okay.
All right, I'll take it. You know, it's not too bad.
Hey, this is what I'll say right now. This match already, undoubtedly the best team names. Not even up for debate. We got Pineapple on one side, Carlos and Friend on the other. We got to give some props to the team names. So, game one, game sound. Thank you, Fear. I appreciate that. Game number one, we got Atomic rocking the Alpine decal, a little bit of throwback. You can't even get that anymore. We got AJ rocking the Octane. And Cheese and Zineel in straight up stock, brand new, create new preset, Stocktane. And we'll see. You know, Bass, I'm curious. Do you think that type of stuff may impact the reads on plays? I've always thought about this. Like, if all three players are wearing the exact same card, do you think that has any type of impact on anything?
I mean, I think it's definitely going to play a little bit of mind games here and there, but oh my word, I was going to say, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be the end-all, be-all. It might mean that Carlos and Friend are here to play, but yeah, AJ, this is filth.
AJ working down the middle of the field, really. A little bit of pop, a little control there. It's going to give AJ and Atomic a 1-goal lead. The first to strike here in game one of the series. Game sound should be back. I had to tab out, fix something real quick. Yep, tabbed out, made audio. The thing is, I have the setting, and we'll go ahead and just show you guys. I have the setting here that should keep audio on, right? So I don't understand why it's not working, but you'll just have to be patient. When I have to tab out, I have to tab out. It just is what it is. Well, other than that, we're going to get back into the action here. Atomic working off the sidewall. And, you know, we talked about mechanics in the last series. Mechanics here is incredible. I mean, AJ and Atomic are some of the most fun players to watch in the world.
No way.
Zineel, a great read on the backboard. Not a ton of power, but he didn't need it. Plopped it right behind Atomic, who was moving quickly. A big dunk there at midfield is going to give Zineel, excuse me, Carlos and Friend, let me say it right, their first goal of the series.
I think we need to refer to him as Friend from now on. He
Okay.
is not Carlos. He is Friend only here. And, well, Zineel, he is no friend of the other team, unfortunately. I don't think Pineapple are going to be all too pleased with Zineel here in this game, nor throughout this series. Again, I really do feel like players are going to walk away from this one having a newfound respect for a player in Zineel, who I'm not going to say that he's going to be, well, how do I put this simply? He's not going to be on the same team he was last season going into the next one. I will almost guarantee this guy's getting picked up by somebody. There is no way that after the performance he has been putting out of the last couple of seasons with the roster mania that is still currently sweeping all of Rocket League, NA, and EU, that this guy does not get picked up by someone spectacular and really has the chance to display himself. So, folks, if you want to get ahead of the curve and recognize a player before they blow up, do me a favor and pay attention real close to Zineel here in this game, because he's already shown himself to be a solid contender, and I think that he's only just getting started.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we're not Shift. We're running a quick little tournament here, but I've heard something similar. So, you know, we get a little rumors going here. I think Zineel's going to be on a high-level team as well. And since we're talking about that, we got to give a shout to Cheese joining the PK roster, which is Sosa. We saw Sosa a little bit earlier in the evening. And J. Russ or Chicken back in the day, depends on what you knew him as. And Bass, watching those AAA Challenger events. Hold on, Cheese about to put one in.
Oh!
Yes, he will. He's going to give them a lead here. Carlos striking. Oh, what a fake. That was nasty from Cheese.
They're looking solid right now. It does kind of feel like Pineapple maybe a little bit underestimated their opponents coming into this one. I know for a fact that AJ and Atomic are aware of who Zineel and Cheese are, but they came into this one with kind of spaced out rotations, and there's the issue. You're not going to be able to do that against a team like Carlos and Friend because they're a bit too quick. They find themselves with a 2-goal lead under 2 to play, and we could be seeing Carlos and Friend be the one to open up the scoreline.
Wow. I mean, this is how, if you're Carlos and Friend, this is how you want to start this series and this game. Because the scoring power, the prowess of Atomic and AJ is just genuinely incredible. And I know that we've given them the praise. They deserve that praise. They are incredibly, incredibly dangerous players. We almost saw it on display right there. Atomic from midfield looking to put a redirect on target. just saved away by Carlos and Friend. Now Cheese having to be careful here as he touches this over to the corner. So off to a good start. I think, like I said, this is exactly what you want from Carlos and Friend to kick off this series.
This is how you want them to play pretty much the entire time. And even if they do make some mistakes here and there, I just want them to be competitive. Ooh, okay, well, that might be a mistake that I'm not all too favorable of. A miss on the line is going to leave them a bit exposed, but at the same time, this is just too pretty.
Great pass across from AJ and a well-struck ball. Atomic putting it top shelf, just out of reach of Carlos and Friend. And we got a little over 60 seconds left just in game one. And Bass, this is off to a hot start. We got a little scoring showdown, plenty of demos. AJ looking for the back close flick, just off target. I'm excited to see this. I hope we go deep in this series. I want game 6 or game 7 because this looks like it's gonna be fun. More demos, followed by an air dribble bump, but Zineel keeps it out.
No, that doesn't make sense. That is basically on par with the Evo save from before. And this shot from Cheese is the cherry on top. Actually, no, this is cheese on the sandwich. Forget that. This is ridiculous.
The cheese on the sandwich, and you know it's extra stanky cheese tonight. That boy is popping off. They got a 2-goal lead, and we're under 45 seconds left.
I don't know what to say. At this point, I think one thing is for certain. They have exceeded expectations. Cheese and Zineel have proven themselves to not just be hot contenders here. They could be the dark horses that upset the tournament. Could you imagine? I know I'm getting very far ahead of myself at this point here, and I'm not going to say this is barely a guarantee. This is just a theory at this point. If Pineapple go out round number 1, yeah, I don't know if I have any idea who wins this tournament anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely true because we talked about it earlier. Undoubtedly, the number 1 and number 2 teams, and some are going to have varying opinions, but Dan and Beast Mode, AJ and Atomic, and they deserve that praise. You know, like I said or like I said earlier, they deserve that praise. They have earned it. They have shown AJ has shown in the 1v1 arena, as well as 3v3, but they have shown in competition after competition how dangerous they are. And Cheese and Zineel, just a little bit newer to the scene. Cheese going to put one more in for good measure here in game 1. But I totally agree. This is unexpected, and you gotta wonder, what is Pineapple thinking right now? Do you think that they thought this was possible? As we saw some of the double tap attempts coming down from the ceiling. We didn't see that from Cheese or Zineel. Just good, solid gameplay, making it work and doing what you got to do to put the ball in the back of the net. And Zineel might have an opportunity here to kick off game number 2, but a quick recovery from Pineapple is going to keep the ball out of the net, at least for now.
Uh-oh, and now it actually could put it into the other net here. AJ with time and space. We talk about 1v1 players that you don't want to give room to. Yeah, AJ is going to be classified as one of those players. He is, again, another player who's been on the 1v1 leaderboard time and time again. He has been very good for so many seasons, so really got to be careful. Individual prowess from AJ is going to be on par with the likes of Evo, Aqua, and Daniel, so can we see them really start to pop on off here? 30 seconds into this one so far, neither team has been able to pop on off, but the Atomic can get a shot here. I don't think he intentionally put that off target, but it's not going to really work out. AJ will get a lackluster shot, but I think that's all that it's going to be, and then Atomic misses the ball. Okay, maybe that first game shook them a little bit more than we were expecting.
It may have, because these are definitely a couple uncharacteristic plays here, whether it's just a misread or a mistouch or whatever. But this is why we wanted to make it a 7-game series, allow these teams a little bit of time to settle in and start to feel the mechanics and warm up and get into their flow state, if you will. Shout out to the flow state in the chat. But yeah, I expect to see them clean it up. We want to talk about pressure. Both of these players were just competing in probably the highest pressure, the most incredibly high stakes event that we have had, maybe even in Rocket League history. I know it wasn't a world championship, but this major was highly anticipated. And so I expect them to kind of level out and get settled into this series, as Atomic will go ahead and put their first one here in game number 2 on the board. I will go ahead and update that. Thank you guys for the reminder here in the chat. Thank you for keeping me straight. Boom. Or, excuse me, game 1 goes to, I clicked the wrong button. It did not go to Pineapple. Jesus, Carlos.
your muscle memory is betraying you here. You were so expected for Pineapple to take game number 1 that you just already clocked it in. And can't really blame you. Again, this is one of these scenarios where you kind of expect Pineapple to take this, and the resistance that we're seeing out of Carlos and friend here is not unexpected, but it's definitely a lot more impressive than we were thinking initially here. The good thing, plenty of time for a recovery out of either one of the teams here. It's 1-0 in favor of Pineapple, but I know that Carlos and friend can get themselves on the board in pretty quick fashion. Zineel not all too quick to that ball, though. A 50-50 out of midfield means it's going to be even more pressure out of Pineapple. That's not really a shot Atomic was looking for, and as it goes back out to midfield, they're not going to be all too worried, but oh boy, Carlos and friend, they might need to worry. Halfway through this game, and they have had far fewer offensive opportunities here in this game than they did in game number 1.
Yeah, and kind of what I was anticipating is these players starting to just settle in, and we're seeing the pace pick up from Pineapple. They're going to start stealing, very similar to Evo Aqua in that series against Gyro and Omar. They're going to start stealing this boost. They're going to start upping the pace, getting things accelerated to a pace that Cheese and Zineel, without the resources, just can't keep up with, and that's what we see happen right here. Atomic just puts a nice strike in the top left side of the net. Zineel can't stretch across the face of the goal to get there in time. 2-0 Pineapple.
Now, can they find a response, though? It still feels like we've yet to see the most out of Carlos and friend here. And while game number 1, we said, was very clean-cut game, really solid all around, there weren't really that many mechanical displays on par with what we're seeing here out of their opponents. That being said, Zineel, that's the block of the day, and this could be the goal to put it on top, but no! Denied on the line. Zineel, follow-up will find it, though, and they will get their first on the board.
Zineel popping up high. Look, we got a double commit there on the goal line from AJ and Atomic. A little bit of a miscommunication. And here's what's crazy, Bass. They still almost recover.
That's... How?
How? I know. I don't understand. I wonder if we'll see any kickoff shenanigans. Oh! Wait a second. I'm seeing into the future. Hold on. Give me a moment. In 20 seconds, Carlos and friend are going to score a reset. Let's see if it happens. Hold on. I'm seeing into the future right now.
Where is
About
it?
10 more seconds.
Cheese.
All right, come on, guys. I got my fingers crossed. Come on, make me look good.
I know you. Listen, that's the way that this goes. You control the future, I control the past. That's the way that this one's going to be. Cheese, prove it right here. It's off the backboard, but no one can read it. And AJ, he's going for whatever that is in the corner here. It's a good 50 that I think should be able to work out in his favor, but no, it was Zineel. What a follow-up touch. And unfortunately, Hoodie, the time has passed, but it doesn't mean that we can't still see a goal out of Carlos and friend here. They've got 70 seconds to tie us up, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they do. They are looking much stronger in the back half of this game.
Yeah, I must have been looking too far into the future or something. I don't know what went wrong, but we are 2-1 here. This is game number 2, and Pineapple looking to equalize in the series. AJ up in the air where he is most dangerous. Atomic chasing bumps, and Zineel does evade and make the save. But Atomic's going to keep this pressure and keep control of the resources. This is where things get difficult for Carlos and friend. Zineel, low boost, flicks out. Is able to hang on here, but Atomic is keeping the pressure alive and stealing those resources. Now he gets a demo on top of it. AJ going back into the air. We know he likes this play. He's looking for an air dribble bump, maybe. Just a soft finesse touch is going to extend that lead to 2. Pineapple looking good in game 2.
This was the response we were hoping for out of Pineapple. We said game number 1 looked a little bit lackluster on an individual performance level. It felt like the stunting plays that we were expecting Pineapple to come into this one with, they didn't hit quite the same way. That being said, we're not out of this game quite yet. A kickoff goal in favor of Carlos and friend goes to show you don't need flashy mechanics. Sometimes the fundamentals, well, they're fundamental for a reason.
This is 2 times this has happened, Bass, where I think that Pineapple is looking to go back right or back left, and the person that's cheating out for that boost is turning up the field in anticipation of that kickoff going in their favor. But Carlos and friend are stalling it in the midfield, right there where the kickoff occurs, and their cheater is so quick to take that shot that the person, whoever is cheating into the corners, just doesn't have time to get back. But I don't know if it's going to be enough here. We have 10 seconds left. Pineapple with control. All they need to do is melt this time away, and Atomic does well to send it into the corner. Zineel is going to put this in the air, and Cheese will be able to catch it. Can he make something happen here, Bass? We got a flick over 1. Cheese looking to make a second touch. Atomic will send it away, and Zineel pops it one more time. Wait, Cheese is there. No luck. Pineapple will take game 2. This is a very level series, though. Cheese and Zineel are making things interesting. The distance, game 6, game 7. But we'll see. Does that game 2, does that spark a new pineapple? Atomic starting things off with a big demo. Pops it across the face of the net, just off target. AJ's not going to be able to get there in time. And we've definitely, like you said, we've had a back and forth series, back and forth games as well. Zineel, from his own corner, does get an air dribble with a reset tacked on the end of it. Almost ends up sneaking it past the pineapple defense. Cheese is going to take this back into his own corner, secure some boost. AJ's there to disrupt the play. We don't want Cheese getting an easy, free touch, so AJ's quick to challenge. Pineapple seems as though they're kind of moving that pressure forwards up the field, right? We're not waiting back. We're not waiting at the midfield. We're willing to move forward into the attacking third and continue that pressure through and through. We saw in game 2, stealing those resources. Even through game 1, they've been very physically aggressive, relying on those demos. And I'm afraid if we're not careful for Carlos and friend, the demo and the boost star could cause problems later on.
It feels like they're getting a bit too patient, and that's why those demos are going to be a little bit worrisome, is because if one is perfectly timed like that, all of a sudden you find yourself a little bit out of position here. I like the idea from Zineel. He recognizes Atomic is at least going to get a 50-50, but when he never makes the challenge, all Atomic has to do is get in Zineel's way and make it awkward, and AJ's got a clear lane to the net. 3:50 left on the clock. It's possible for Carlos and friend to turn this one around considering the time, but it does feel like what was a very resistant game number 1 is going to be the most resistance we see all series.
Yeah, it definitely could be, and I hope it's not. We want to see a good quality series, but there's just this nagging fear in the back of my head that Atomic and AJ at any moment could just absolutely turn things on and really command this series, take control of things. But as you said, we've seen some resistance here. I do want to highlight Atomic's recovery on that air dribble. You know, he got kind of bumped or disrupted by someone. Zineel's going to put a shot on target. AJ is in position to defend. But Atomic recovered well on the air dribble, getting extra touches on it, puts Zineel in a weird place defensively, which opened up a lane for AJ to score. And now we've got AJ with lots of space here. Fakes the musty flick, goes underneath another. Zineel able to recover in time. Atomic's going to cut this off at midfield, put a shot directly on target, or just off target, but he did not waste time taking a shot. Cheese to the backboard. This is awkward, and AJ, I think he just misread this. I think originally he probably thought this was going to hit the post, hit the crossbar and bounce out, and just wasn't sure if he should make it there or if he should go for it, but just under the bar, AJ not able to keep that out of the net, and now we're level once again here with just under 3 minutes on the clock.
I honestly thought that was hitting the backboard as well. You called it out, and I was like, yeah, this should hit the backboard, easy, clear, and then we'll just go back to a back and forth. I will say, though, goal's a goal. It doesn't matter how you get it, because what it can do is it can swing the momentum in your favor. Now, considering the aggression we are seeing out of their opponents, I'm thinking that Carlos and friend are right back into this one. Zineel time and space. He's got his flip. Wants to use a musty. All right, yeah, that has reinstilled some confidence. I will definitively say that Carlos and friend are back in this series.
That would have been absolutely filthy, and Atomic knows that. That's why he challenged so soon, because you can't give these players that time and space. And again, we know these guys may not have the popularity, right? They don't have the name recognition that AJ and Atomic have, but they do have the skill, and they're putting it on display here in this series right now.
Oh, they might do it again. That shot just a little bit off the mark, but with 2 minutes to go, those little differences are what's going to be the separating factor here for this game. It feels like we've gotten a golden goal scenario. I know we're not quite there yet, but considering how hard these two teams have had to hustle to just find these opening goals, I'm thinking every single one that we see from here on out is going to be far and few between. Maybe one in favor of Pineapple here, or maybe not. Carlos and friend, Cheese in particular.
Cheese
has
ahead.
a good break. He's bumping on the line, but somehow, some way, Atomic gets the littlest touch of that one and saves it for now.
Wow, Atomic evades the bump, somehow makes a save by pinching it off the crossbar, and AJ's there to collect the trash. Holy moly. If they're going to keep that out, I mean, what are we going to have to do as Carlos and friend to create a genuine opportunity that we can score with? I don't know, but right now they need to worry about defense. AJ, a flick on target. He's going to secure that corner boost. Atomic with a full tank through the corner, dropping it down to AJ, who's up quickly. Zineel is there for the challenge. And I think you're right. We are looking at a golden goal scenario. These teams playing excellent defense. Both sides. Atomic, an extra touch is going to get it around Zineel. Cheese in an awkward spot. He will get a pop away. Atomic opts to lead this for AJ. Zineel from the ceiling. Gonna get a pinch into the corner, and Cheese is gonna take control. Once again, Atomic from the ceiling. These players are wild, Bass.
They're just diving at this point, and I think I understand why. Remember how we were critical earlier of players giving too much time and space? Yeah, way too smart of players on the pitch now for that to be happening. Where we had mechanical monsters before, this is going to be a game of how clever you are. What's your Rocket League IQ gonna look like? And what's your defensive posture going to be? Could it? No! Yes, indeed! The first shot is off target, but Atomic reads it off the post, and they will find the lead with 15 to play.
I love that infield look from AJ. Just a bit off target from Atomic, but I think he had to do that to get it around the defender. A great bounce off the corner, off the post, and Atomic with a wonderful read is going to secure that second goal and a lead. Now with 15 seconds on the clock, can Carlos and Friend make the impossible happen? Under 10, Cheese in the air, works through the midfield. Now we're going to have to keep this thing off the ground. Zineel is there. An errant first touch is probably going to kill the press here. Cheese will keep it alive for just a bit longer. I don't think he has the resources to make anything happen. Atomic, a lot of patience here. Cheese will catch it, but Atomic's there to bury it. And Pineapple is going to take a lead in the series, 2-1. Yeah, I mean, the reality is, if Carlos and Friend can grab this thing or push this into Game 6 or Game 7, from a community standpoint, that's going to be a win, right? Because no one is believing. No one thinks that they could take down these giants. But I don't think these players are satisfied with that, Bass. They want a piece of this prize pool, especially because this thing is ever growing, it seems like. Cheese and Zineel looking to equalize the series here. Only down 2-1. And this is what we wanted. We wanted to go deep into the series. We wanted it to be tight. We wanted it to be back and forth. Can they equalize here in Game 4?
Ooh, Zineel's got time and space in the corner here. I don't think he intentionally missed that ball. Initially, I thought it might be some mind games, but as it's an awkward transition going the other way, it does kind of feel like maybe Carlos and Friend are starting to lose their grip on the pace of play on this series. Also apparently losing their grip on the life that they have on the pitch. They're sent back to the Shadow Realm once again, and it's going to leave space now for Pineapple to go the other way. AJ should have a shot here. Cheese gets in the way. Had they had any boost in the tank, they might have been able to turn it into a transition, but instead, Zineel will be the one to do so. Demo out at mid. Atomic's got to buy time and space, and oh my, it looked like we were going to get a little bit of a settle down for a second, but as the calamity happens on both halves with the physicality, it's looking like maybe the heat's only turning up here. Jeez, he wants the demo. He wants revenge, and he will find it. Carlos and Friend, the first on the board.
Jeez, looking clean with the Slurpee decal. Had to get a bump, flexing for the camera. Man, that's a great way to score here in Game 4, giving themselves an early lead. 3:35 on the clock. Cheese, pop to the backboard. This is awkward for AJ. A great clear. That is so incredible. This is what remember I said this earlier. These players, they don't feel awkward, Bass. It don't matter where they are. It don't matter where the ball is. They can handle it from any place. They're incredible.
At this point, you got to imagine that, well, the rest of the planet at this point goes into this one thinking that Carlos and Friend are the underdogs. I don't think Carlos and Friend think that. I do not think that Zineel and Cheese believe that they are outclassed by any stretch of the imagination. They're looking at this as a boxing match back and forth with jabs, right hooks, left hooks, and uppercuts. But they're wondering, can they get that knockout blow or at least equalize and go into round number 5? They'd love to show themselves as a solid contender here, as do have a decent amount of resistance here in the corner. Their defense, something we were a little bit critical of before, has started to become rather prevalent. Their offense there to boot as well. Zineel denied on the line by Atomic, but there's the mechanics we knew that they could show. Speaking of mechanics, where's the follow-up? Atomic, he puts it off target. AJ set that one up, put it on a silver platter, but unfortunately, the waiter will trip and spill the food all over the floor. 0-1 here. Carlos and Friend hold on to their lead, but Pineapple, they are finding themselves a lot of good offense. And not a shot, though. That's high, too. 2 in a row that should have hit the back of the net.
I mean, Bess, did you see the double flip reset from Atomic? And he's not even using it to score. He's just going to use it for a little drop-off pass and give AJ the credit. This is incredible, and this is what I was hoping to see out of this lobby, because I know they have it in them. I know they can hit these resets. I know they can do this highly technical, highly advanced stuff, and I want to see it. I'm here for it. And it seems like Pineapple's giving us a little taste of it right now. Atomic is going to put a bouncer on target. One thing I wanted to mention, we talked a couple times about how, obviously, the community recognizes AJ and Atomic. Obviously, we recognize those level of players because they've had these opportunities. And it brings up an important point. This is a big opportunity for Cheese and Zineel, right?
Yeah.
They are trying to gain some of that name recognition that players like AJ and Atomic have done. And so they may be a little bit more focused or a little bit more into this than AJ and Atomic. Now, I don't know how true that is anymore because this prize pool has gotten so big. I'm sure every player is sweating. But there's a little bit of a different vibe between the two teams where one has already proven their worth. They get plenty of opportunities to prove their worth. And the other two, they're hungry. They want to show what they can do. And they're showing it here in the series. Cheese with a big dunk at midfield. He's going to provide a little bit of space for Zineel. He's going to keep it on the sidewall. A nice 50 against Atomic. He's going to put this above the backboard, but AJ handles it to perfection. Now Cheese with a nice challenge in the corner. Zineel, big boom, but Atomic somehow reads 5 seconds into the future and is already waiting. AJ, an early challenge is beat by Cheese, and Cheese is going to put in a second with 41 seconds on the clock, Baz. That might do it.
I think we're getting a tied series here, Hoodie. This is what we wanted to see out of Cheese and Zineel. They are not giving up, and not only are they not giving up, they're playing a lot less defense than I was expecting here. Yeah, there's 4 saves on the side of Cheese, but it kind of feels like Pineapple haven't really had those threatening shots that we were seeing in previous games. So, yeah, Zineel and Cheese, I'd have to agree with you. This is their proving ground. This is where they get to show themselves as solid contenders, and I mean, they already have. Again, I want to reiterate, this is not as if they are unknowns that we don't know in the scene. I guarantee you that Atomic and AJ here, when they saw they were going up against Zineel and Cheese, knew who they were and were prepared for the battle, but they just weren't prepared for the war here, because this really has been a fight to the very bitter end. 15 seconds ago, I think we're going 2-2 on the series, and now we get into the nitty-gritty, because the next the next team to win, they move on a series point, and we talked about this before. That series point really can tip the scales, because when the pressure is on, can you handle it? Apparently, Carlos and Friend, they will indeed. They shut their opponents out and move on to a tied ball game.
So Cheese and Zineel looking clean and playing smart. I'm excited to see how the remaining games in this series unfold. Zineel up early. He's going to secure a 1-0 lead 5 seconds into Game 5.
Oh boy, and this is the issue, is that when you have players like this go into the sky and not missing the mark every chance you give them, you got to be prepared. Pineapple, I think this is officially where we say the rug has been taken out from underneath them. They were feeling so stable, so prepared, and now all of a sudden they are finding themselves on shakier and shakier ground. An earthquake has hit the pitch, but the question is whether or not they've found themselves underneath a doorway to find some stability. I know that they can get back into this one. We've seen it time and time again, but there is the issue. As much as the defense was not a highlight in the last game, it has been a highlight in this series. Carlos and Friend, I mean, this is Carlos in the brick wall at this point here. I cannot believe what we're seeing on this back line.
Yeah, this is incredible. Atomic with a nice strike, saved once again. The defense, we've got to highlight the defense of Carlos and Friend. It's been absolutely incredible. And like I said, you're not going to there are not many players on Earth that can even entertain the thought of shutting out a team consisting of AJ and Atomic. But the fact that that is a reality here, and they have played, even in the games where they are conceding goals, they are making Pineapple work. I mentioned it earlier. We're having to do double flip resets just to get a pass to a teammate. Geez, an outlet pass to Zineel. Zineel on the fast break. AJ is back in time. I don't know what to say here, Bass, because it almost, I want to ask the question to the other team. What does AJ and Atomic have to do to get past that back line?
I think they got to start working as a team. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, this is just sort of my perspective. Carlos and Friend are the most duo-based team we've seen all day. Yeah. Every other team, it's felt like there have been these duo plays. There have been these cohesive plays, these team plays coming through. But a lot of the time, it's solo plays that then develop into a team play. This is the difference. Carlos and Friend are operating as a unit. They are never going to abandon each other. They are playing for each other, and Cheese is playing for the back line. Again, another save that just shouldn't happen. Another save that should not happen. Again, this is the issue. Every other team, they've had the highlights of one player and the lowlights of another, and then the highlights of that player, and then the low of another. Here's the solo play that Pineapple needed to find. While 2v1 is a great thing, when the 1v2 works out, it is spectacular.
Atomic is filthy. I don't know how Cheese kept out his previous shot. He recovered on the backboard and got a negative angle shot. It shouldn't have been possible. I don't know how he got it on target, but Cheese makes a diving save. He can't keep it out forever. Atomic looking like he's starting to feel it. Cheese gonna work down the sideline here. AJ by himself in a tough position. Cheese looking for the bump. Zineel creeps up a little bit too far there. Out of position for the shot, but does get one touch, which will slow down the press from Pineapple. AJ on no boost. Leaves Atomic by himself, and now AJ in awkward position. Zineel's gonna slot it right underneath and reclaim the lead here in game 5, Bats.
I gotta give credit to Cheese here because he's not even going to try and go for the double there. All he's doing is facilitating Zineel. Once again, this is what separates this team. It feels like Carlos and Friend are in complete sync right now, while Pineapple, they're just waiting for someone to pop on off. I mean, again, this is pretty early into the game. We're halfway through this, and I know that points mean almost nothing, but oh my word, shots like that do mean something. Cheese gonna try and follow up his teammate's pass here. Not quite able to, but yeah, this has been... I don't even know what to say. I keep on trying to reiterate the points and how Pineapple have been lacking behind, but just watch the game. That's enough proof already.
Cheese with a wonderful touch that probably takes AJ a little bit by surprise. I'm sure he was aware that he was up there, but it's tough to be ready for that. Cheese drops it down to a teammate. Zineel pokes it around him. Now, they have secured a 2-goal lead, but we got to say it. There's half the game on the clock. A lot of time, and we know the prowess of these players. They can score. Cheese is going to take a shot. Just off target. AJ working into the air. He's gonna come back to the ground, try to put it around Cheese. Zineel with a big demo on Atomic's gonna open up some space here to work with. What does Cheese do? Opts to go into the air. It is off target. Atomic's gonna clear it away here. Zineel all by himself does well to deal with that. Now Cheese in a foot race with Atomic. Atomic is gonna get back just in time. Zineel, lots of boost, a little bit of space, an awkward position, but he makes it work just fine. And Atomic is all by himself here on the back line. Now AJ's going to make it back to provide some support and immediately transition onto offense. This is where AJ is so scary. The double reset attempt blocked away by Cheese. Atomic off the sidewall, keeping it close, bringing it to the ground. We're seeing a little bit more patience now from Pineapple. I think they are probably realizing, hey, we're not going to be able to just poke one in. We're going to have to work this ball around. We're going to have to work the defense because they are solid on the back line. AJ's going to run out of boost here. And Zineel is going to transition out of defense onto offense.
Trying his best here. Atomic's making it difficult in the corner. I think maybe Cheese will have some more success as they go through the air here. I also, by the way, just a quick little note because I know that the viewership has increased a lot since when we initially brought out this stat. Hold up. Let's see if we can get to it. Cheese first going to make a save, and so will Zineel. Now it gives me a little bit more time to speak. We brought this stat up earlier, but I think we had like 600 people in here. Now we're up to 1,500, and I got to mention, you guys don't know, Cheese, he's also the greatest Switch player of all time. His first 3,000 hours in this game were all on the Nintendo Switch, and then after he switched over to PC, he made RLCS. So, yeah, it goes to show you, the progress of these players is beyond compare. He truly is the Switch GOAT. And, well, that GOAT might just be able to, I guess, baw a little bit louder. What exactly noise do GOATs make? Because at this point, they're screaming here. Carlos and Friend are 20 seconds away from finding themselves on a 3-2 lead against the major champion, and then AJ, one of the best players in North America. I don't know if we can overstate how insane this win is going to be.
Yeah, I am impressed. And I want to give credit to Bash because you called it out.
Yep.
You said these are the underdogs. And they are showing why you had that faith in them right here, right now in the series. When you get to that final game, things become real, and it's not easy to close it out, especially when your opponents are these guys right here. Now, Cheese and Zineel, they got to close it out. They got to finish the task. Game 6, let's kick it off.
I will say, chat, you're going to be a little bit disappointed. I saw a couple of people being like, is Atomic switching to the Fennec? Are we going to see Atomic in the Fennec? No. He's staying in the Octane here. It could be for better or for worse. He might be feeling that he's got to bring that out in Game 7. They might be feeling that, you know, Game 6 is theirs. They'll get to Champions Field, and then we see Fennec Atomic. Not quite yet here, but they still do have a long road ahead of them if they want to get there. And, uh-oh, misses like that. We're going to leave them exposed. Atomic half flips into the ball for the save, and he actually catches it on the other end. No way. Atomic goes over one, but Zineel barely able to make a touch, and Pineapple will be denied for the first 30 seconds, and I think Zineel finally will get a breakaway the other way.
My man just half flipped off the post of the goal.
Yup.
Let's just take a moment and think about that. For a diving save, by the way.
Yeah.
unbelievable. And we know when G2 was looking to pick up Atomic, everybody was talking about his defensive prowess and just ability. And it's absolutely incredible. He's putting it on display there. AJ going to have some control. Plenty of boost here in the tank. He's going to look like he maybe misflipped a little bit to the side. We're seeing that Joyo-inspired car design. I think it's called, the decal I think is called Neural Network, something like that. And then you throw the Reapers in there. It's a clean design. It looks good. And Joyo, you know, he was popping off at LAN with that thing. So everybody's wanting to rock it now. We got a double commit there at midfield, though. It's going to dissipate any pressure that Pineapple may have wanted to mount. Zineel wanting to pull this thing up into an air dribble. AJ over to the side. Atomic's going to catch it in a 1v1 play. Zineel dives across to save Cheese from the trouble. Atomic going to let that come to the ground. AJ's going to pick up at midfield. Zineel does secure that midfield boost, which is going to slow things down for the Pineapple press. Now Zineel, a little bit of space. What's he going to do here? He's beat to the challenge by Atomic, who has no desire to give them any time. AJ with a nice challenge here. Pineapple looking a little bit stronger on offense, but still not generating quality opportunities.
It feels like Zineel is taking them all away before they can even develop them. He has been such a nuisance in this game here, diving at almost every single shot that Pineapple are trying to develop. I mean, hey, look at Cheese doing the exact same thing, and Zineel immediately with a follow-up. This time Atomic read it, though. He doesn't have any boost in the tank, so it's going to be hard for him to keep an offense together here, but at least make a little bit of resistance to what had been overwhelmingly in favor of Carlos and friend here. We're halfway through the game, though, without a goal on the board, meaning that this is kind of one of those games, it feels like every single goal is going to be all the more important, in considering the fact that it hasn't really been like, you know, any shots that have really looked like they've hit the net. It's been so denied every single time that we've got to see something spectacular. Could it be Zineel here? He's got time and space. He's got it around one. Can he try and facilitate something for Cheese on the follow-up? No such luck. And as we go back down to the other end, it's looking like maybe those team plays, which were benefiting Carlos and friend before, they're not as much of an option here. We might need to see some individual prowess if they want to try and close out the series.
Yeah, this has been incredible. Cheese going to send it wide. Zineel can't reach it in time. The amount of defense we're seeing, I feel like that is not, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think twos is, you don't see this just like goal line defense. You see much more pressure-oriented plays, or maybe counterattack and stuff, but both teams have just locked down defense, and it's been incredible to watch because we know how, well, dangerous all these players are on offense. And now we got a little bit of a midfield battle, scuffle there. Atomic is going to take control with boost in his own corner, try to work things down the sideline. Zineel's just going to back away, give him some space, and Cheese will clear it away.
Oh, AJ, very precarious position there. Barely able to get back to the ball, but the good thing is that they got at least enough boost in the tank. Get it out past midfield. Cheese gets a little bit around that one, and he might be able to put it on target and catch Atomic by surprise, but luckily enough for Pineapple, they will not be caught off guard. They'll get back to this one, and uh-oh, that's going to catch them off guard, though. Carlos and friend tripping over each other a little bit, and as Zineel does not read that bounce off the ceiling, it's looking like Pineapple might be able to stay for this one last offense. Zineel able to barely keep that one out, but with 30 seconds to go, we're definitely a golden goal scenario, at least in my mind, and Atomic's as well. It's why he's pre-jumping on the ceiling and trying to facilitate something for AJ. They'll boom out to the corner here, and Zineel and Cheese will need to get this off their half. A miss out there is going to leave them exposed, but luckily enough, the dive of Atomic will not arrive. With 15 seconds to go, Hoodie, it is now or never. If Pineapple want the series to continue, they need to win this game, and I think they need to avoid an overtime, or, uh-oh, I don't mean like this. I don't mean give up a goal. Zineel and Cheese will not find it. Oh, wait a minute. This is awkward. Atomic, he's barely able to keep this one out. Cheese is there. He'll keep it up. Where is Zineel? Not for the follow-up. Or maybe it'll be a little bit late because AJ, he's given a lot of time here. No, they'll let it hit the ground, and we've got overtime. Game number 6.
Bass, I'm lost for words right now. I can't believe that sequence there for the last 30 seconds. That was absolutely wild. We saw some mistakes on the backside of... Okay, all right, I'm sorry. I had to hold my breath. That was too scary.
I don't blame you.
AJ looking up the field. Atomic is there. Redirect is very wide. Cheese and Zineel is going to take over possession. Now AJ's by himself. Atomic's bumped way out of position. AJ's going to confirm that corner boost, and he'll probably be just fine here. This is where he excels. But Zineel up early. Atomic finally back on defense. Is going to be able to make that save. An early challenge from Cheese is actually going to be won by Atomic, and he's going to secure the corner boost for Zineel, excuse me. Atomic almost got a cheeky little touch there, but Zineel with a full tank is working off this left wall. The reset, he goes underneath, and he pops high. Can AJ get there in time? Yes, he can. Cheese will 50 it with AJ into the corner. Now Atomic, the only one with boost for Pineapple. Zineel working off the sidewall. He has his reset. He has the dodge. He goes underneath, and he taps it around one. Zineel will secure Game 6 for Carlos and friend. AJ and Atomic are out of the event.
Tournament brought to you by Metafy and also brought to you by a whole lot of other folks who put in so many donations that we are now at $7,000 total here. We started off at $1,500, immediately went to 25, and it has continued from there. Woo! And Chronic, he wants a piece of that pie. Early goal in favor of the randoms.
This is a good flick, and Bass, you said it first. He's got that 1v1 ability. He's done that play right there, I guarantee, 100 or 1,000 times even. Thank you for the game sound reminder. I appreciate that. Chronic striking early with a nice flick. Randy in the chat, you know he loves those flicks. Randy's got some appreciation for that. I'm interested to see how this goes. We talked about Lionblaze and his 1v1 ability as well with a ground pitch attempt there. Lionblaze is notoriously tremendous as a defender in these 1v1 situations. We're going to see him go to work right here. Chronic's going to get the best of him, putting it top left corner and extend that lead to 2.
I'm sorry, is this the Chronic show, or are we back to this yet again? This is a guy, by the way, that I do feel like we need to reiterate. You know, we talk about, you know, the young guns, the ones that are up and coming, the prodigies of North America. Chronic, for a time, was one of those guys people thought would be the prodigy of North America. And he went a little bit quiet, wasn't really playing as many 1v1s anymore, wasn't really involved in a lot of competitions, had a couple of, let's call it, poor results on Fear's channel, and got a little bit quiet. His reemergence into the scene as he started to team with 2Piece and Knight has been nothing short of miraculous. He's been fantastic, living up, I would say not even living up to expectations, playing beyond them at this point here. So, yeah, he's proven himself already here in game number 1, but it is only game number 1. As a matter of fact, it's only the first minute. It might be a 2-0 lead, but considering that we're just getting started, I don't think CRL champs are out of this one by any stretch of the imagination.
That's right, and in their name, you understand they've got that experience. They've competed at the collegiate, level, at a very high level in Collegiate Rocket League. But both of these players also have RLCS experience, and so a 2-0 lead, they're not going to sweat this, especially in a lengthy series, best of 7. I have full faith that these guys are going to turn things around here, potentially even in game 1. You mentioned it. There's lots of time left, but Toofy's going to take a shot. Tcorrell will send it off the post, and Lionblaze in a 1v1 situation. Let's see who's going to win this one. Chronic with an early challenge is going to deflect it high. 2Piece, just enough resources to keep this away. 2Piece, once again, a nice touch into the corner. Now Lionblaze secures that boost, keeps it in the corner. Tcorrell, a nice fake. Chronic with a good recovery and a bump there. Lionblaze looking to muscle this thing past 1. He gets it past a 2nd and bumps Chronic out of the way. Now 2Piece with a little bit of space and plenty of boost is going to begin working this thing out of defense.
Getting a little bit precarious right now, though. It feels like randoms are just getting these, well, random 50-50s that end up going in their favor here. I feel like I'm going to use that word far too many times when casting them here today. Nothing random about that. That is calm, cool, collected, and calculated. Chronic off the bar and in.
Whatever Chronic ate today for breakfast and lunch, he better eat it again tomorrow, because this boy is absolutely popping. Nice flicks, nice placement, nice shots. He's doing it all. Good defense. Stuck in some situations against Lionblaze in a 1v1 situation, and he's doing it all right now in the first half of game 1.
This is, I am impressed. I have really nothing else to say besides I am impressed. 3-0 here with Chronic. I'm not gonna say carrying his team, but he really has been facilitating goal after goal and just offense after offense. 2Piece doing a good job at really teeing him up for a lot of these offenses right now, but man, something about Chronic here in this first game. We've got 2 minutes to play, so maybe 2Piece can get up to that same sort of level, or maybe Chronic will just continue to stun off the backboard. Tcorrell wants to put this out to the side, but both Chronic and 2Piece are prepared. Lionblaze with almost no boost in tank. Actually, matter of fact, Zero is going to find a lot of resistance, and 2Piece, he's going to find the top right. Talk about flicks. He's not going to be outdone by his teammate. 2Piece to get one for herself.
Well, If there was any doubters before, I think 3 minutes into game 1, we have all recognized that Two Piece and Chronic are legitimate threats. They were, hey, look, Bass, you know what? We are huge brain. We have so far today, we are perfect with predictions. And I gotta say, Two Piece and Chronic, y'all gotta come through for me. That's the underdogs. Make me look smart. Tcorrell gonna send one from the side wall straight into the net. And there's plenty of time left. 2 minutes on the clock. Hey, I know there's a 3-goal deficit, but it's 2v2. These players they can mount this comeback quite easily.
And if anyone's going to do that, it's going to be Tcorrell and Lionblaze. Honestly, like you said, this is a team that doesn't just have their head on their shoulders. It's screwed in, locked tight. These guys know how to keep calm under pressure. They are not going to panic by any stretch of the imagination beyond just being CRL champions, as you can see with the Lionblaze tag on the field right now. They're also players who played a lot of RLCS. And I don't just mean like, oh, you know, they've made a couple of regionals here and there. No. You can literally see by the tag, Tcorrell, RLCS X Major Elite. He has done, time and time again, been a solid contender in RLCS, has been proven over and over again. So, one of these things where maybe CRL champs didn't necessarily have the game 1 that they were looking for, but I don't expect this one to just be a sweep in favor of the randoms. I am expecting a lot of resistance out of the CRL champs, and although they haven't found it here in game number 1, at least getting a goal on the board means that they're not letting the momentum slip too far away from them.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. And one thing, we've mentioned Two Piece, we've mentioned Chronic, and we've mentioned Lionblaze, especially in the 1v1 arena, but we haven't talked much about Tcorrell, and I'm glad you touched on it because I think that is a very severely underrated player.
Oh,
mechanically, man, he is super fun to watch. That's another player that streams. If you guys are looking for some cool places to hang out, go watch Tcorrell. Puts on a great show, very positive. I like that from the pro players. He's gonna muscle one in, and Lionblaze just a little too far away to get there. Can't reach it in Tcorrell. Wrestling with Two Piece to get back in time. He will confirm his own corner boost, but like I was saying, Tcorrell, a pivotal part of his team and that Sonic's roster, them finding success and fighting into that top 6 area, like we were talking about earlier with Rogue and Rebellion and whatnot. I think that's another team that, when Tcorrell's playing well, can do that same stuff. They can threaten those high-level teams, those top 5, top 6 areas. So, like you said, game 1, maybe not what the CRL champs wanted, but it's a long series, and you said it right. They've got the experience. They know what it's like. 7-game series. I think they're going to bounce back in game 2.
100%. And I mean, they already bounced back in game number 1. Yes, the randoms, as you can see on your screen right now, do take the win.
And if you've ever played Rocket League, you know when you go down early, it's tough. It's tough because you feel that urgency and you don't, some kickoff shenanigans. You know I love this. Chronic over to Two Piece, back to the middle. Chronic taking a shot. Lionblaze is going to be able to defend that. But what I was saying is when a team strikes first, their job just becomes so much easier, right? You can kind of play however you so desire. You can use the entire pitch because you don't even have to take it to the goal. Not only that, but your opponents start to feel that urgency and they don't want to give you any space. And many times, teams will become far too aggressive, right? We got 3-4 minutes left and they already feel kind of urgent or panicky or whatever. And they'll just over-aggress and overextend and end up offering easy or free counterattack goals to their opponents. And so, I think you're right. They got off to a hot start in game 1. Already here in game 2 is a quite different look. Chronic and Two Piece look clean. They look good, but well, I was going to say they haven't scored just yet, but I didn't even get the line out. Two Piece, a nice challenge from Chronic's going to hit that ceiling, and Two Piece is going to be there to put in the open net. Tcorrell just up the field a little bit, expecting a little bit better play from Lionblaze. 1-0, randoms, 4:06 on the clock.
A little bit of a caster curse. You know, we had to get one of those at some point throughout the day. We're here in our 4th series. We're not going to avoid it. I'm honestly surprised that I have. I'm like known for this at this point. But good thing is that it is only a 1-0. And as much as, wait a minute, no way. All right, it's off the mark. Thought Two Piece was about to get the goal of the day here. We've had a lot of spectacular ones, but cross-court shot like that's not something you see every other day here. Although, this is, it's still looking a little bit usual. As much as we are seeing CRL champs with a decent amount of resistance, it still kind of feels like a little bit off the mark here. 2 saves on the game, but meanwhile, their opponents have 4 shots already. They don't even have a single one registered, and as there's a demo on Lionblaze and Chronic's got time and space, it's going to be all the more difficult for them to find a way out. The flip reset. Where's the follow-up? Two-piece in the air. They're going to try and go for, I think, a double touch here. Narrow angle, and Lionblaze will deny it. 3 minutes on the clock, and as much as game number 2 looking a little bit more even, it's only getting as even as far as the midfield line. We got to see some more resistance out of CRL. They've got to find some offense.
Yeah, they have been stuck on this back line, and it doesn't even seem like it's resource starvation or physical aggression, which we've seen a couple times throughout the evening. It just feels like Two-Piece and Chronic are outplaying them at the moment. I don't know if it's strictly pace or just smarter touches and being in better positions, but at the moment, I agree with you. CRL Champs is struggling to get anything moving on offense, and I'm 2 for 2, Bass. So when I say something bad about a team, they're about to score.
Listen, it's a caster curse in the best way possible. It's basically you now predict the future. You know, you get to decide who's going to score, who's going to take the series, and at this point, you're also going to decide whether or not we get a good second half of this game. Hoodie, call it now with your fortune-telling powers. Are we going to see an overtime?
Here's what I'm going to say, because so far, if I've said anything bad, they have done the opposite, so let me just try it out. I think the remaining half of this game is going to be trash. The teams are going to be whiffing. They're going to play awful, and we're definitely not going to get overtime.
There we go. That's what I like to hear. The opposite of a curse. The blessing will be upon us. And, well, let's see if we can maybe get some blessings in terms of the offense here. I want to see something spectacular. And listen, I'll take that. That's a great save out of Chronic, but he's going to need another one. He'll put it out to the side, and Lionblaze without any boost means I don't think they're going to be able to keep this offensive pressure, especially considering that Lionblaze is sent to the Shadow Realm. Tcorrell, he's sent to the skies, and it looks like he's pretty natural there. He's going to flick one over. Two-piece will get this one out to the corner, but with under 2 minutes remaining, we're still all tied up. It does feel like we're starting to see some more offense out of CRL, but they need to still play some defense. Tcorrell with his 3rd save of the game, and the 6th one for CRL overall.
That was a great save. He had to play that perfectly. He was in a tough position, and he did just what he needed to. Lionblaze a demo. This could be an opportunity, but Two-piece in a miraculous position. Tcorrell, a late dodge, going to get it around 1, but Chronic is in position now. Lionblaze takes to the skies. Probably just going to hold on to this, maybe a reset to extend the play just a bit. Wait, he'll control it with that wave dash, and now look, the flick back post. Lionblaze, impeccable control. Look at this. Bass.
That's just... what do you even say? That's just respect. Like, that's one of those things, you know, we talk about, oh, no one wants to challenge Daniel in the air or Aqua in the air or Evo in the air because of the fact that they might get balled on. The minute Lionblaze locks into a flip reset, no one wants to challenge. It's a perfect recovery, and it's the mind games that I think are going to be able to get CRL on top here. I'll be point blank with this one. Randoms are better mechanically. They just are. They're a faster team. They're a team that is going to stunt on you for most of their goals. But again, when it comes to Rocket League IQ, I have to give it to the CRL champs. They've just been here too many times before in multiple competitions. While I have seen Two-piece and Chronic do well in competitions, I would say that CRL champs have a lot more medallions to show for it. So a minute left in this one. It's not a guarantee that this is going to go in favor of CRL champs, especially with a demo like this. Chronic's got time and space, but Two-piece not quite confident in the 50-50, so they'll back out and maybe get one more offense. 40 seconds on the clock. The time is fighting against them as well as CRL champs. So randoms, it's now or never. Prove that you can find a resistance.
Bass, I think you summed it up perfectly. The game IQ here for CRL champs is through the roof. They secured this 2-1 lead, and all urgency was out the window. You see them back passing. You see Lionblaze sitting in the corner, just waiting, daring his opponent to come challenge, because he knows he don't need to score. He's just going to sit right there and wait. If you're not going to come to him, he'll wait the whole game. And now with 10 seconds on the clock, a misread from Tcorrell may provide an opportunity, but a good recovery. He's going to be able to clear it away. Two-piece has to back off. Tcorrell on low boost, but we'll hold on to this. Two-piece, a nice challenge. Lionblaze is going to win this. Potentially get another one here. Tcorrell, a nice read. It's going to hit the ground, though. And CRL champs will level us up 1-1 in the series. Yeah, that's right. I think randoms, game 1, I think it was a little bit funky. I don't think it was indicative of how this series is going to unfold, right? Or how it's going to play out. And I don't mean by wins and losses. I just meant that it just felt kind of weird. It felt like CRL champs were struggling to figure anything out. Lionblaze is going to work one through the corner and awkwardly stuff it into the net. Chronic, I think, maybe a little bit of greed there for the boost. Lionblaze just plays smart. He knows how to work those corners, that 1v1 gameplay, that 1v1 IQ. But again, that first game just felt funky. It felt weird. It didn't seem normal. I think game 2 was a little bit more accurate of showing for both teams. I think we see that, like you said, CRL champs, they're going to play smart. When they get that lead, they're not going to be overextending. They're not going to be trying anything crazy. They're going to hold on to possession and milk that clock. Where randoms, they struggled when that happened, right? They felt like they were just kind of muted, really. You know, they weren't given any opportunities because Lionblaze and Tcorrell just played smart. Two-piece, almost with a block, or excuse me, a dunk to give himself a goal there. Tcorrell off the sidewall. We do see a reset. Lionblaze is there for the finish. The double tap, maybe he misses, but Tcorrell has recovered in time. So, in summary, I think you're exactly right. This big-time IQ from CRL champs. And I also think that experience is going to play into that as well, where, like you said, they've been in these situations where you need to stay calm and collected, even when your opponents may be a little bit mechanically superior, a little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive and annoying to play. So, as this series unfolds, I expect to see CRL champs play their game, and I want to see, will randoms make an adjustment, or can they just out-execute?
I think that's actually also where I'm a little bit concerned for randoms, if I'm being honest. They kind of are over-adjusting right now. It feels like game number 1 where they were finding resistance, and game number 2 where it was pretty even. Now all of a sudden, they're just diving at the ball really aggressively here, and it's not really working out. They send 2 players in offense, and all they find for it is a demo. So I want to see a little bit of a switch up here, and I do want to see not a big switch up, just a little one out of the randoms here, where they can keep their offense efficiency, but not overextend themselves. And another good example there, Chronic's got no boost in the tank, so what's he doing diving into his opponent's corner? Yes, it's going to create an awkward play, but is it going to create anything besides that awkwardness? Two-piece, a shot off target, not going to be enough. Chronic straight on to Lionblaze, and this could actually lead to a goal if Tcorrell has time and space going the other way. But this is where I'm starting to get concerned. We talked about this before with Aqua and Evo. These young players tend to tilt themselves out of a series, and if the aggression continues to not work out against the randoms, we could see them tilt themselves out of the series. 2-0 in favor of CRL.
Here we go, a little bit of over-aggression punished. Lionblaze actually extended up the field, but on his recovery, Tcorrell turns quickly and just pokes it around the last defender of randoms, and that's going to be a freebie there for CRL champs, and they extend that lead to 2. I think you're exactly right. Now, I don't know much about these players as far as tilt and things like that, but you're exactly right. Well, sometimes these younger players, and something I wanted to mention earlier, there is, I mean, it isn't talked about a lot, but there is a mental complex here where when some players think that they are better than others, you know, they feel confidence, almost arrogance, when they go down in the series or in a game or something goes wrong and they start to get tilted, you know, that mental complex comes into play. And so I'm curious how these players think about one another. Is it just mutual respect? Is it something where one feels like they should definitely beat the other? You know, those things, they play a role in this. Tcorrell, 2 nice touches to get it around both players. Lionblaze is up the field in position as well, but both randoms players recover well, and they'll transition back onto offense.
So, Hoodie, crazy thing, you know, you say that, you know, they might need to work on their mental. They might need to learn how to keep themselves in the game a little bit. You want to know a really good way to get yourself into the game? Coaching. Metafy, shout out once again. Thank you so much for your sponsorship here on this tournament. It wouldn't be possible without you, and I do need to reiterate, I think that at this moment, they might need a little bit of coaching, because it looks like randoms, their heads are in the clouds and their feet are underwater. These guys are stretched far too thin, and it's starting to come back to bite them.
Lionblaze just flexing the muscle, pushing it through a pair of 50s to get it through, get it underneath the randoms defense and extend that lead to 3. And this is the problem. When randoms go down, this CRL team, they're too smart. They are not going to give you freebies. They are not going to make mistakes. I'm not saying that they're not going to give up goals, but you're going to have to earn it. And so far, we just haven't seen randoms do anything to create or generate quality opportunities against the CRL champs defense. So moving forward, we've seen it in game 1. If randoms can secure an early lead, that may be their win condition for this series.
I would have to agree. It just kind of feels like right now the randoms are only able to really find resistance when they're confident, when they feel like they're just not really uncomfortable on the pitch here. And this is giving me flashes of the last series we actually saw, to be honest. It feels like CRL champs, they're the only other team I would say is as cohesive as Carlos and Friend. They look very good as a duo, and they just continue to work around each other. And, well, Tcorrell, he's going to work around himself here. Fourth goal goes in the back of the net. But Random's looking like Pineapple, but kind of the worst parts of Pineapple, unfortunately, here. They look very disorganized, and while some of these solo plays do work out, most of them go kind of awry. And usually because of the fact that I would say Pineapple are a speedier team, they were able to recover, Randoms are not as prepared. They have the problems go awry and then just kind of fall apart. So they need to be careful here. It feels like right now, oh my word, I was going to say, Randoms teetering on the edge of disaster, but maybe two-piece with a solo play like this can reinstill some confidence.
Yes, that's right. Even though this game is most likely out of reach, it's not impossible. We've seen crazier things happen. It's most likely out of reach, but you mentioned the confidence, and that, you know, a nice flip reset play, you get a dunk on the end of it, that's going to build some confidence, but this might just sap it all away. Actually, Tcorrell hits the post, and it bounces away, which Randoms are going to escape unscathed right there. The game will still most likely fall in CRL Champ's favor, and we'll be heading into game number 3. All right. Guess this is game number 3. We'll be heading into game 4. Two-piece. Nice read out of the corner. That's going to do it there for game 3. CRL Champ's going to claim the lead. 2-1 in the series.
Is that Randoms are trying to go for these high flying plays, and CRL champs, they're kind of just staring at them and going, all right, go ahead, kid, try it, see what you can do. And it's just never working out. So, again, it's just brains versus brawn right now. While this might be the fact that CRL are a smarter team, can they outmuscle their opponents? Randoms still have a chance here, but I would say this, if they do not find a win here at this point, I don't have faith in them to continue the series after this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think being down 3-1 in the series is going to be a tough hill to climb, especially in the manner that they lost these 2 games, and if they lose this one, it's going to be tough to bounce back from that. We did mention they're a little bit younger too, and that's always difficult. Lionblaze puts a shot almost on target, hits the crossbar corner and out, but a fake is going to keep the offensive press alive. Lionblaze just waits for the challenge. Now Tcorrell with another slow play on the goal line. Chronic is finally going to get it away. Lionblaze looking for the sidewall pinch. Gets a shot on target, two-piece in position though. Going to make the save, and he's going to take to the skies. Two-piece, a nice catch, and he works around the only defender back for the CRL champs. Two-piece, juking and jiving. It's going to give Randoms a 1-0 lead here in game 4.
That's a big 1-0 lead at that, considering the fact that they only found themselves a single goal in that previous game. The fact they've got themselves on the board, and I would say reinstilled some confidence, is going to show that he's not done yet. Like we said, their mechanics were just a little bit off the mark, but they're back in their bag. This is going to be a difficult game for CRL to try and put them back away here. Although it's only a minute into this one, I do fear that CRL champs might have lost their grip on the series like they had before. Chronic trying to further this lead in favor of the Randoms, but barely saved away by the champs is that shot. They might actually not be able to get an offense together here. Lionblaze does miss the first touch, but able to get it around the other player here. And although two-piece will pop this one out of the corner, he's bought enough time now for CRL champs to get prepared for the counterattack that is going to come. Randoms playing patiently here. I like that Chronic is not diving at the ball too aggressively. He's going to try and go for a solo play. Musty flick. Denied by Lionblaze, but I can tell you one thing for certain, Hoodie. The confidence is back. Randoms are starting to stunt on their opponent.
What a play from two-piece. Chronic's going to get credit for the goal, but look at this control from the ceiling, and then the 50-50 in front of the goal. Chronic there to clean it up. Two-piece doing a lot of the heavy lifting there for that play. It's going to give Randoms 2-0 lead, and we talked about it last game. The win condition, they need to strike first. You said it best, that confidence. It is huge for these young players in this event. And they have done well to put 2 on the board here. The problem is there's a lot of time left. And I want to make sure that I am nervous that they are not going to play this smart. I'm nervous that they're going to continue on with that aggressive, like you said, high-flying play style that's just very resource intense and difficult to execute at all times with perfection. And so we'll see how they play the remaining half of this game. But early in the game 4, They've secured this 2-0 lead, and they're looking good.
Cool, but they are going to find a little bit of resistance here. I do like this, like you said, though, the risk-taking that we're seeing here out of the randoms. It's something special. Hey, listen, they're kids. They can't gamble quite yet. So how are they going to gamble? They're going to do it in-game. And this really is gambling with a lot of money here. Again, moving on to the second round guarantees you $700 at minimum. So, yeah, they're playing for a large chunk of change at this point here. And the question is whether or not the randoms are going to continue on with their money-winning ways. 2 minutes to go here, and Tcorrell finally might be able to find the first breakout play for the CRL champs. Not if Chronic has something to say about it, though. Jumps on that one immediately, dispossesses the CRL champs as they go the other way, and he even gets possession back in his favor instead. Random's up for this one, two-piece. Space in the air, wants to get the flip reset, but just a bit off the mark. So Tcorrell will now take this ball and go the other way. Lionblaze is going to be the one to facilitate the offense, but he's not going to be able to do so. Chronic gets in the way, and once again, it's this aggression out of randoms that is throwing CRL champs into a complete tizzy. They have not been able to find open space for quite some time, and one time they do, Lionblaze just kind of bangs it on target. Maybe a little bit nervous out of the CRL champs here. Usually they're so good at keeping these plays in their possession, but they've just been banging it back and forth, and Chronic's been able to get in the way time and time again. Can they find themselves at least one good goal? 70 seconds to go, and while it's still possible for CRL champs to turn this one around, they need a goal like yesterday. Oh,
great save from two-piece. You know, I think what it comes down to, Bass, is that CRL champs are very, playstyle-wise, are very suited to secure a lead and hang on to it. What I don't know that they're great at is mounting that comeback, especially against a team that is so quick. The recoveries are incredible. They're so willing to be aggressive, right? They're not going to sit back and wait. They're going to challenge you. They're going to get in your face immediately. And CRL champs have seemed to struggle with that when they go down early.
They're trying to develop things that I think are just a little bit too fancy. And while we were saying that as a criticism of the randoms before, how many times have we seen the CRL champs try and develop a flip reset or something similar? The one time they go for a standard passing play, and they are golden. Tcorrell, this is brilliant. He knows Chronic's going to challenge, so just wait until the 50.
Incredible play in the corner. Wonderful patience. Just getting it out there, and we got to give some credit to Lionblaze because that's a difficult situation, and with 25 seconds on the clock, one more goal is going to put it out of reach. Lionblaze read it to perfection, got that shot near post, and now he's working a low 50-50 here. Lionblaze looking to cut it around one, but two-piece to put it into the corner safely. Tcorrell accidentally, I think, fakes one, and now a bump is going to pop one towards the target. Tcorrell will get possession into the air. He gets a nice dodge. He's looking to bring it across to Lionblaze, but a bump will extend the play just a little bit out of reach, and that's going to hit the ground. We are all level, 2-2 in the series.
Out.
Bass, I don't know if you saw this. Tcorrell had 8 saves.
Yup.
Randoms were turning up the heat in that game. We got some kickoff shenanigans. Lionblaze is going to be awarded with possession of ball and boost here. CRL champs. Maybe they're listening in, Bass, and they know if they score first, their chances increase dramatically. Chronic with 2 wonderful saves back-to-back is going to keep the ball out for now, but they're not out of trouble just yet. Lionblaze, a nice aerial 50. Chronic does well to boom this away. Two-piece, going to hit it around Tcorrell. And then Chronic is going to pop it just over both defenders, and randoms will still strike first.
This is just clever out of two-piece. He knows Tcorrell is trying to put that to safety, and when Tcorrell's on the backboard and Lionblaze just kind of has to dive early, it's a now or never type of save for the CRL champs, and the unfortunate thing is it never arrives. 30 seconds into this one here, we're seeing good stuff out of the CRL champs, but again, it just kind of feels like randoms, they have found their rhythm, and now that they have found their rhythm, what is going to disrupt that? Uh-oh, Tcorrell, he needs a disruption to the follow-up shot from Chronic. He will take it away, but he's going to have to use a lot of boost to try and get this to the other end, and as Lionblaze is a little bit too close to the ball, I don't think they'll find a shot. They'll actually find Chronic mid-air here, and that 1-0 lead that randoms have found seemingly has shook all of CRL champs to the core. They are very aggressive out the gates, and it is going to come back to bite them. 2 goals in favor of randoms within the first minutes.
Wow. A 50-50 there from Chronic does such a good job of keeping the ball close and just controlling it, kind of dropping it right where it is. He doesn't want that to pinch away dangerously. He wants to keep it close. He knows his teammates near him. Two-piece quickly turns and shoots. Randoms. So far, throughout the series, Bass, when they go up early, they are difficult to deal with. Lionblaze ahead of the play does get a demo on one player, but Tcorrell can't beat the second. Now Lionblaze with a ground level flip reset. No flick on it. and Randoms will send it away and potentially transition onto offense. We got a boink there from Chronic. Lionblaze back deep, looking up the field for Tcorrell. One touch, maybe another one. Yes, gets it around one, a pop up high. Now two-piece. He's gonna have to use all of his resources here. Maybe drop this down into a 50-50. Lionblaze gonna back pass Tcorrell. Gonna collect that boost, collect possession, and begin working out of his own corner.
Moves a lot of space. Oh no, I was gonna say a lot of space for Lionblaze or Tcorrell to challenge here, but when they bump on top of each other, it's not really gonna allow them to challenge whatsoever. It's starting to feel, as much as we were saying that Randoms might be the one to over-adjust here in the series, it feels like CRL champs are the ones to do that. They're trying to match the pace of play that their opponents are putting on display right now, and all they're really doing is just leaving themselves exposed, overly aggressive, really diving at these balls in places that they do not need to. That boomer to the backboard, Lionblaze, why not keep that one close and try and bait out a challenge out of the Randoms instead? This is what the issue is. Again, toppled on top of each other here, and as two-piece puts a boomer downfield, Lionblaze can do nothing but assist it. CRL champs splitting at the seams right now, and I gotta say, it's a bit surprising to see.
This is kind of what I was getting at, though, when I said in game one how easy the game, I shouldn't say easy, but how much more, how big of a benefit it is to strike first, especially when you're this team that is so hyper-aggressive and very gifted mechanically. They can just throw all caution to the wind. They can just full steam ahead, challenge anything that they so desire, and we're seeing them do just that, and it's resulting in suffocating pressure. And CRL champs are just struggling to really get anything moving as far as quality. They've had some opportunities here and there, and they've been on offense, but it just hasn't been very quality. The Randoms defense is really not being tested. They're not being put in awkward positions, and two-piece is probably going to get another one here. Tcorrell almost makes it back in time, but two-piece will get the dunk, and that's going to extend the lead to 4.
Boy, they're running away with this thing, and it's not just a run, it's not just a jog, it is a full-speed sprint for an Olympic medal here. Usain Bolt pulling away. It's gotta change. I don't know if we can continue to state this any further, but it really does feel like CRL champs are continuing to try and make aggressions. Changes here. I don't know what are the word. Adaptations. That's the word I'm looking for here. Last game, it was CRL champs getting too defensive, allowing too many shots out of their opponents, and Randoms took advantage of that. This game, they try and match the aggression out of Randoms, and all they do is leave themselves exposed because, I mean, we said this before. Randoms are a quicker team. They're a much more mechanical one. If CRL champs want to win this game, it's got to be through their cleverness. They've got to outplay their opponents, and right now, I don't know if I've even seen a fake for the last, 10 minutes. It just kind of feels like they're diving at the ball on repeat, hoping to out-mechanic someone on this random side and getting beat on repeat.
We're seeing it here. Chronic and two-piece, before they even begin this defensive stand, they both secure their own corners. They're not being put in tough positions, and flicks galore. We've seen it all series. Lionblaze has a big clear. I don't know if he's going to be able to put this on target. Yes, he does. Tcorrell will go ahead and secure the goal. We're not going to call it a steal. We just want to make sure that we get it inside the post here. 1:18 on the clock. This is not totally out of reach, but it's going to be a tough one to mount the comeback here. Not much time, and we've seen this CRL champs team struggles from behind. They are phenomenal when they secure that early lead, but when they go down, they struggle to generate quality opportunities, and I expect that to remain true for the last minute of this game.
I think that they can, I don't know what they can do to try and turn this one around. I'm glad that they've got a goal on the board here. It just means that they're going to have at least a little bit of momentum going to what is potentially the last game of the series, considering that Randoms are going to be on series point. They will need one more to not only move to the next round, but to guarantee themselves some money. Again, folks, $7,000 on the line in total here. $700 guaranteed just for making it through the first round. So there's a lot to be played for here, and I think that's part of the reason why the Randoms really are leaving it all out on the pitch. That being said, maybe they've left a little bit too much out here, because CRL, they're starting to find themselves a little bit of resistance. Second goal on the board, and Hoodie, do you believe in miracles?
I do, and what I think is I just need to keep talking trash about how CRL champs can't make a comeback because it seems to be working. So I'm just going to say it again. I don't think they can do it. There's 40 seconds left, 2 goals down. I don't think it's possible. Lionblaze, please prove me wrong.
Well, maybe Tcorrell can prove you wrong. Or, ooh, they can be intercepted instead. 30 seconds ago, I'm with you on this one. I'd love to see this go to a minimum in overtime, but it's not up to us. It is up to the players on the field, and up to Lionblaze to get a good 50-50 here. He will set this one up, but Tcorrell not quite able to read that one in 2 pieces. They send it the other way. They have created a second opponent for the CRL champs to play against. The clock, they are running out of time. Seconds ticking off, and goals getting scored. 5-2 here. I think that confirms it. Randoms moving on to series points.
Randoms. absolutely showing that they are a real threat in this event, and they deserve that respect. They're also locking in, like you said earlier, they're locking into some cash in the next round. If you are curious about how the prizing is going to go, we got first and second place. We're also giving a little bit of money to third and fourth. So anybody that makes it past round 1, they're going to be in the money. Game number 6, Chronic and 2-piece on series point. Bass, what do we think is about to happen?
I think there are one of two things that are about to happen. We are either going to see the randoms with the best game they play all series, or we are going to see Tcorrell out the gates firing. Because again, this is what you and I have talked about many, many times before. Tcorrell champs look good when they are not playing from behind. When they find themselves a little bit of a lead, even if it is a single goal, they seem a lot more comfortable and they seem a lot more defensively minded, which works out when you already have the lead. So 30 seconds into this one, it's already an improvement from before. Last game, randoms had already gotten one on the board, and although they have not found one yet, it is a little bit precarious. Lionblaze, perfect touch out of midfield, is going to be able to keep that one away, and he's going to be able to set himself up. Flip reset denied, and 2-piece pops it over to Tcorrell's head, but he's barely able to get back. But again, a bit nervous. Tcorrell holding tight to that midfield. A single ball goes gliding over their head, and that'll be the first goal in favor of the randoms.
Well played by Tcorrell in the corner to not only corral that ball, but also secure that corner boost. That was such a big play. And then not only those two things, but also evade the demo. Well done by him. Probably kept a goal from being scored. And a huge pinch is going to put Tcorrell champs right back onto offense. Tcorrell will steal that boost, but Chronic's got possession. Lionblaze bangs one into the corner, looking for the demo. 2-piece will do well to deal with it and escape Lionblaze grasp. Tcorrell champs, offensively, they've looked a lot more one-dimensional than the randoms. We've seen some aerial prowess. We've seen some flicks. I mean, flicks galore from this randoms team. They've been slinging them top corner. And we've seen some power shots from Chronic right here in the corner. An awkward bounce. Tcorrell not able to read it, but Chronic pops it into the top right shelf. And that's going to put randoms up early. Look, Bass, this is not good. This is not what Tcorrell champs wanted.
Oh my gosh, that's what I wanted, though. Oh, I'm not going to lie. That's a shot I've been hoping for all day. Say it with me now, chat. What on earth is that? Just filthy from the side, and Chronic is going to try and do it again. I thought he was setting up 2-piece there, but dude, this is unreal. I don't know what else to say. Chronic's making saves on the other end as well. And as much as this is the Chronic show, last show was the 2-piece show. Randoms just stunting on the pitch here. I mean, I still believe in Tcorrell and Tcorrell champs here, Hootie, but I don't know what you do to stop this team. Randoms just look unbelievable.
Yeah, they're looking clean right now, and I'm with you. I believe, but something's gonna have to change. We're gonna have to be a little bit more effective and dangerous on offense, and that may be it. And they still keep it out. Lionblaze, once again, as a lead blocker, doesn't make contact on the defender, and Tcorrell can't get it around it. Now 2-piece working flawlessly in the corner to keep the ball in safety. Chronic off the left side, looking for the ground pinch, does land it, but Lionblaze in good position. Now Lionblaze with a full tank of boost, 2v1 situation, 2-piece. What's he gonna do? A misflick from Lionblaze. That is very uncharacteristic, and I wonder, you mentioned it, but I wonder if those nerves are setting in.
I wouldn't be surprised. This is a really large prize pool to be playing for. Again, you make a single win here through your series, and you guarantee yourselves $350 per person at minimum. So yeah, this is one of these things where I think we can all agree the pressure is on, and while we thought Tcorrell champs would be prepared for it before, this might be more pressure than they were expecting, because I think there's two factors to the pressure they are feeling now. One, obviously the prize pool and the fact that they are playing a competition like this, but two, it's the upset. When you have a team that you don't expect to be playing this solidly against you, and they not only play solidly, they exceed expectations, you're gonna have a little bit to think about, and well, they might have a long time to think about that, because randoms are 100 seconds away from moving to the next round.
Oh my goodness, Chronic, what a read. And we talked about it earlier, the double touch evolution. We no longer only use the backboard, we use every surface on the field, the ground, the corner, and Chronic right there showing us he can use the ceiling as well. What a read, what a play. Chronic and randoms looking good. Can he get the reset? No, he can't. Lionblaze, a critical demo. This is probably gonna be a counterattack opportunity. Yes, it is. Lionblaze will walk in a free goal and cut the lead in half. We got 121 on the clock left here, Bass. Tcorrell, they're not out of this just yet.
Oh, come on now. I want to see it. Let's take this to a minimum in overtime. Let's take us to another game. A game number 7 here would be miraculous. Be something special. But chat, I've asked for this multiple times tonight. Now I'm going to need it more than ever. Let's get an overtime chant going because we got to see some support for the boys in blue. Uh-oh, but we might see some more for the guys in orange. The young guns continuing to find themselves some resistance, and they might just be able to guarantee themselves the win here if they can find a third goal. Chronic going to be denied, and as Tcorrell booms this off the half, we go to a minute of play left. It's possible. The chances are slim, but if anyone's going to get this done, it will be the CRL champs. They move into offense. Lionblaze moves into the corner. Tcorrell will be there as well. He's going to try and take this one to the air, but I think Chronic's going to read this pretty easily. 50-50 means that 2Piece and Lionblaze are both going to have to battle for this one. The Lionblaze will not go up. He'll let it go all the way to the other end, but that oh-so-scary enemy rears its ugly head yet again. The clock also fighting against the CRL champs as we have only 30 seconds left to play.
Time is ticking. Lionblaze with the reset.
Oh.
Tcorrell does get the disruption, and then a 2Piece is able to recover just in time to deflect, and 20 seconds on the clock. Tcorrell having to work from his own end. Does well to get it out to Lionblaze, but Chronic having none of it, cutting it off immediately, and an extra touch is going to be beautiful to extend this play. Lionblaze will corral it in the air, work it past one, but he does not have the resources to continue this play. Now Tcorrell with a pinch into the middle. Lionblaze pops back to Tcorrell, 2Piece. Quickly challenges, and that's going to hit the floor. Randoms are going to take down the CRL champs. And Bass, we have our semifinal matchups for tomorrow.